In the response phase, it was all about saving lives. It was getting in and giving people what they needed in order to survive. What we want to do now in rehabilitation is allow them to restore that dignity by being involved in their own recovery.
We're really focused on how do we meet those people who are struggling most in the community to rebuild, and how do we provide them real opportunities for them to rebuild their lives, rebuild their families, rebuild their communities. When World Vision arrived here in November, 6 months ago, it was absolute chaos. The typhoon had just ripped through communities. People had no food, no water, no shelter, no healthcare, no education. And so we started with immediate response of very basic life-saving needs.
In the past 6 months, World Vision has been able to reach almost 750,000 people. We have been able to cover the most devastated areas in the Philippines with these interventions. We've been able to accomplish quite a bit. There's still a lot of work to be done, but we've made very good steps.
6 months on, the Filipino communities and the children we're working with have come a long way. We're now looking at how do we move from tents to more sustainable housing that will protect communities, protect families and protect children in the next typhoon. We're looking at how do children not only get back to school, but how do we ensure the psychosocial support of children after such an enormous disaster and after loss of life? How do we ensure that they're cared for? How do we ensure their mental health is cared for? We're focusing on livelihoods. So how do we get people back into a normal life where they can sustain themselves? Ensuring food, ensuring water, ensuring basic services are met in the communities.
To all the affected communities out there, you're leading the way. You're on this massive trajectory of self-recovery. From our perspective, we just want to have inputs into that trajectory so that you don't end up where you were before, but you end up at a much better place.
We've had tremendous support from donors, from concerned people around the world, from people from the Filipino diaspora have come and contributed quite a bit to the recovery of the people here. That has been a major opportunity. The very fact that the people want to take part in their own recovery, I think for me is the most important one. We can't restore the dignity without their engagement. When we do exercises like the Build Back Better workshop, where we're not just giving them stuff, but we're making them part of the recovery. They're actually learning how to help themselves. That is so much more important than the way we used to do it, where we just would provide them stuff, build everything for them. Now they're part of the process. And for me, that's the greatest opportunity, the restoration of dignity.
We will listen and we will respond. You might not always get what you want, but it doesn't mean that we haven't considered what you've said to us.
We will work with the Filipino communities, we'll walk alongside them, and we will support and assist them in their needs to build back better and build back safer in the future.